Hi, friends. It's Joni with Three Feathers Spiritual Wisdom, here with your weekly intuitive message from Spirit for the week of December 13th through the 19th of 2021. It feels like it's been a long week since I last spoke with you. Oddly enough, I'm not sure why I'm feeling like it's been a long time, but I hope everything is going well for you. We've got we've got quite a message this week. We've got a number of cards that came out, several that came out together. So I want to get right to it, but I would ask you as you consider the message, because this is the feeling that I got. I'm going to share my intuition with you here on this, as I always do. I feel like this is both a personal message for us that we can take in personally, but I also feel like there's an overall collective message. So it might be something that we see in the news and on the collective level here in the United States. All right, so just be aware of that's something that I really felt as these cards came out. The decks that I'm using this week are the Vision Quest Tarot, and for your pick, so tap into your intuition. Do you want the message from card A, B, or C? From the Goddess Dream Oracle by Wendy Andrew. I felt very called to pull this deck out. Something about the deeply divine feminine energy was calling me for this week. So, yeah, there you go. Those are the decks that I'm using. Let's jump in. Oh, thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, and commenting. I truly appreciate your support. One other quick message. Next Saturday, December 18th, I will be at Solstice in the Vale in La Vista, Nebraska. If you would like to drop in for a reading, I am actually doing astrology readings for 2022, and I'll be looking at your natal chart and your solar return and see what the transits are. I'm also working on a handout that I will be giving people who come to the store about the major astrological aspects of 2022. After next week, I plan to, and when I'm on break, I'm going to be doing a series of videos. So don't worry, you will learn about those if you're not in Nebraska and want to know what's happening in 2022. I am going to do a series of videos for coming out later in December and early January about those aspects. So, and I will be doing an astrology video after this one because we have a few things happening this week that are of interest. Okay, with that, let's get to the reading. These two cards came out together. The Father of Earth and the Two, I would call it the Two of Wands, but in this deck, it's the Two of Fire. And it says the word under it is will, our willpower. So, what do these cards mean together since they came out together? The Father of Earth in the regular tarot is the King of Pentacles, a very grounded, stable, resourceful person, fully manifested, fully capable of always having that stability. And what I'm getting from this is we need to look at where we're not stable, where we're not grounded, and get some grounding. We need to meditate this week. We need to go out in nature. We need to ground. We need to that inner strength that the Father of Earth gives us is important so that we have the will and the willpower and the fire and the motivation to move whatever it is we need forward. We're working on projects, we're creating our life, we're working on our purpose, whatever it is, and whatever it is we're trying to do. Maybe we're trying to exercise more. Maybe we have a New Year's resolution coming up, or we just, we just really want to do better in many different ways. And we have to have the will to carry that out, that motivation. People talk about, do I have the willpower? You do if you're feeling grounded and stable. If you're scattered up here and like that, and I've felt that before, I'm sure we all have, you don't have any willpower. So that's the first message coming out. The next card came out alone, and it is the clown. Or in the regular tarot, it would be the fool. The fool card is the first major arcana card in the tarot deck. It is the beginning of the new journey. And maybe this is why we need to be grounded and we need to be recharged to have our willpower, because we are starting the next journey in our lives, the next phase, the new beginning. I still think we're a little bit at the end and the beginning, the end and the beginning. But, you know, this card is significantly telling us we're at the start of something. But there's also a need for balance here because this is about the clown. And in indigenous cultures, I have a recommendation for you if you would like to learn more about some Native American cultures. Read John Neihart's Black Elk Speaks. In that book, Black Elk was a shaman with the Uglala Lakota tribe, and a very powerful shaman. And one of the chapters in it is all about the Heyoka, or the clown, and the purpose of the Heyoka shaman in the tribe. And that's what you're going to see on this card. And that is to help us release stress through humor and play, and and even taking tragic things and seeing the light in them. Okay, it's a way of releasing the stress and the tension within us. And you can actually see this and experience this in modern comedians, and especially some of the late night comedians like Jon Stewart used to do, where he'd poke fun at media and politicians. Very, very serious stuff those people do, but then he would poke fun at them, and that would help us release the anger and the tension we might have about current events. So that may be an aspect of this message. We need to play. We need to recharge. We need to be present in the moment. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. Be right in this moment. Take whichever those messages resonate with you and leave the rest on that one. Very interesting. Now, normally it would only be one card left to talk about, but three cards came out together. And I'll break down the message. Let me tell you what the cards are first. First is grandmother, which in the regular tarot would be the Empress, okay? The next card was the Lovers, which is the same thing in the regular tarot. And the third card that came out was Chaos, which in the regular tarot is the Tower, all right? Now, how do I want to do this? Chaos and a tower is coming. This is where the reading for me, my intuition is saying, is some of this is collective message, but we can pull it down to our personal. So something may happen in our lives, or something may happen out there in the whole country or the world that we see that could potentially bring chaos. And in that chaos, we need to realize who we love and keep our love light on for ourselves and the people around us and have compassion. But there's also potential because the grandmother is the empress, and the empress is about the potentials and the many possibilities and fertility, that out of chaos comes the potential to create new. That's the positive that I see in this. Let me break it down just a little bit from what I see in the cards that was hitting me intuitively. First off, in the grandmother, my eye went to the turtle right behind her. And this is where I felt it was a collective message because indigenous cultures call North America Turtle Island. So and this may be all of North America, or it could be specifically the United States of America. Something about the turtle was hitting me. Now, what that is, I cannot say, but there is potential to create a new in this country. We see this on the news. And if you keep up with the news and stuff, you know there's upheaval in this country. You know that there's been chaos and there's going to continue to be chaos. Astrologically, I know this, but there's going to be some continuation of that. Um, and in that, you have the potential to create, all right? Create anew. Lovers is about um, the other message I got off of this was surrender. Surrendering, when you surrender to intimately with another person, you go to a deeper level of intimacy and relationship. And what I'm feeling from this is that we may have to surrender and go with the flow. I'm not saying like wave the white flag and surrender your everything about you. No, I mean just allow things to happen around you. Don't get caught up in them. Don't get caught up in the fear. Just allow it to happen. Stay strong in yourself. This is another reason, again, the first cards about recharging and grounding and being more stable in ourselves are key to this later message of chaos is be strong in yourself, okay, and just allow whatever's happening around you to happen. And in this chaos, uh, breaking it down further, um, things that happen in our lives may break down the walls around that we've built around us. Again, surrendering to further intimacy, deeper intimacy in a relationship. Sometimes people, if they've been hurt enough, they build a wall around their heart and they don't do it. They don't surrender or go deeper in a relationship. So that's one kind of wall that the chaos may take down. But there are other kinds of walls and obstacles that we create in our lives that chaos helps crumble. Now, this could be collectively a crumbling of some sort of system that we see, and that we have the potential to rebuild and make it better. Make it better. Chaos is not always a bad thing. It's just sometimes it frightens people. You'll be less frightened if you are strong in your will to create your life and you have that stability. All right. And you look at things with a little bit of humor. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense because it's a, I think it's an extremely powerful message this week. I get powerful messages out of this deck. This may be the card of the day, the daily card message each week, each day this week. I'm not quite sure. So, are you ready to hear what your message is from your oracle card that you picked. Did you pick A, B, or C? If you picked A, you got abundance. Count your blessings. She has a little basket here with fruit and vegetables, and there's a deer and this beautiful flower and feather crown that she's wearing. Um, you are abundant. Even if you don't feel abundant at this time, you truly are abundant. And if you count your blessings every day and have gratitude, you will soon see that abundance grow and expand. So count your blessings and have appreciation for what it is that you already have. Okay? For those of you who picked B, you are a free spirit. You be your own person. And what I'm getting from this is, and it says be your own person at the bottom there. What I'm getting from this is, I don't know if you can see, but in this little crystal ball she's holding is a path. And you are looking for your path and you will be finding it. But it's a different path than everybody else because you are your own person. You're unique. You are a free spirit. You howl with the wolves. Maybe you're drawn to nature in that way, and you're part of a different path. You are, and you may feel out of step with other people, and you just have to go find the people that are your tribe because you are different. You're a free spirit, and I feel that this path will show up for you at some point soon. I'm going to go out on a ledge and say soon because you're looking for it. Okay, for those of you who picked C, your message is patience. And at the bottom it says, through the darkness to the light. Now, you may be in the darkness right now, working on yourself, working on some things, and that you need to let go of. Or maybe there's still an obstacle and the chaos or the tower later is going to crumble some things so that you walk through the darkness to the other side. Just something that you are trying to create is taking longer than you expect, I'm sure. So you need to have patience. You are still walking in the darkness. You are still digging up whatever it is you need to dig up to heal, to accept, and to transform. And once you have walked this path and on the other side, you will be abundant. There's a little rabbit up here. I don't know if you can see it. Little bunny rabbit always stands for fertility and abundance. And then the other thing that caught my eye on this card when it came out was this crow. Listen to your intuition. The crow signals that intuition and signals the subconscious and the dark side, but it's also deeply connected to spirit and may be giving you a message. And it could come in a dream, it could come in symbols. You'll know. It'll be in your intuition. So you'll know. All right. Um, anything else? You the other thing that's come to me now that I asked the card and what else it has is I don't know if you can see this, but this is like when you slice an apple, you see the little star with the seeds. There are the seeds planted. You've planted seeds and they're dormant right now, but by the springtime they'll be, because we're heading into winter. I feel very much this is a winter card, and that's why you need to have patience. So, yeah, you've planted the seeds. We just need the spring to come and the seeds will grow. I hope that has helped. I hope you enjoy your message. I want to wish you many blessings. Thank you again for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting below. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead and please let me know how this message uh, turns out for you. I am very curious to see. as we go forward this week, what actually happens. So take care, many blessings. See you next week.